Hey, it's Alex here. So I'm with Laurie, and we're just going to be having a little chat about life in Spain. So, Laurie, where are you from originally?
From Massachusetts, Cape Cod, in the United States.
And how long have you been living in Spain?
We started coming to Estepona in 2017. We bought our home in 2019.
And why did you decide to move here to Estepona in Spain?
So we were tired of doing the Florida thing in the winter. We were looking for someplace in Europe where we could golf. We found the Costa del Sol, we did some research and discovered this place called Estepona that sounded really nice and that had retained its Spanish charm. So we visited for a 2-day stay and fell in love and never even looked anywhere else.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Spain. So what was the thing that surprised you most when you first arrived in Spain?
Surprised me most.
Was it the people, the way of life? I mean, I guess not the weather, because everyone knows it's generally sunny.
Right. This isn't necessarily a positive. It's also not necessarily a negative. But we were surprised to learn that the Spaniards are not particularly interested in us, which I understand. But for instance, in our building here in Estepona, we have Spanish neighbors to the left and right, and most of the people in our building are Spaniards, but not all. And we've had the most basic, simple conversations with our neighbors. They're not interested in us.
Yeah.
And look, we don't speak great Spanish, so
Yeah.
I understand. They're perfectly pleasant, but they're not like, oh, let's meet the new neighbors, let's have them over for coffee. No.
No.
Never
Maybe, I
happened.
think that's just a Spanish thing in general. You
Yeah.
know. In the UK and I think in America too, you like to have people around.
Absolutely.
And you have them. Generally, I think they meet people out more than have
That's
people
what
around.
I have learned, and so that was a surprise for me.
So what do you think Spain does better than America?
Weather.
Weather?
But okay.
Well, not in Florida. The weather's pretty decent in
Yeah,
Florida.
the weather is pretty nice there. Food.
Yeah.
I think the food here is brilliant. Every time we come here, for 6 months a year, every time we're here we lose weight. Every time we go back to the States we gain weight.
Okay,
And
that tells you something, yeah.
Yes, and I think the food here is fresh and not as full of fat, and it's not as processed.
Yeah.
And
Just fresher, cleaner,
yeah,
healthier. The Mediterranean diet, they say, is a good thing,
exactly.
right? So, but on the flip side, what do you think America does better than Spain?
Well, friendliness towards strangers. That said, I feel like we've sort of befriended a number of people in town, but they're people who serve us. In other words, waiters and cleaning people and bartenders. And those people are exceptionally warm and lovely. So, that's great. But to your question, what does America do better? I think we are more organized. I don't think that will come as a surprise to anybody.
Yeah.
I mean, bureaucracy exists everywhere. Maybe it's because I'm not a fluent Spanish speaker, but it's just easier to get stuff done in the United States.
Yeah. No, you're not the first to say
Yeah.
that. Talking about customer service and people in service and that, America's obviously very well known for excellent customer service. Would you say it's good here as well? When you go out, you generally get good service? I mean, and you don't have to pay 20% for it, which is quite nice.
Right. In restaurants, I think, generally speaking, the service is excellent. And we always marvel how a restaurant can be full and there's one or maybe two servers. They're not running around like crazy people. They're just efficient. They're handling everybody. We really appreciate that, and the thing that we especially appreciate is the sobremesa, the fact that they're not, in the States, they deliver your food, and then a second later they deliver your check, and they say, no hurry, whenever you're ready, but they mean, as soon as you're done eating, pay us and get out.
I find that a shock when I was in the States just last year, and we had our meal, and I still had like half a beer left, and I hadn't asked for the check, but it was presented to me, and it was like, well, are you not going to ask if I want to get a coffee or another beer or just take my time? But no, it's like,
exactly.
You've eaten, here's your check, see you later.
And so we really appreciate that, but I have to say sometimes it can be really challenging finding somebody to give me a check. Sometimes we've sat there for half an hour, we're ready to leave, and there's nobody to be found. So
yeah, that's funny. So how has your lifestyle changed since moving here? Do you do anything different?
We walk a lot. And that's a function of Spain. It's also a function of we live in the suburbs in the States, and we chose to live in an urban environment here. But yeah, we're healthier here. We're just walking all the time. I think the late night dinners might not be the healthiest thing, but we try to not do. We try to do more of a Spanish lunch, and then a light dinner, and so that is healthy. And life is just sort of it's just slower here.
So you feel healthier. You feel healthier, and do you feel happier?
Definitely healthier. You know, I've discovered about myself, wherever I am, I'm happiest.
Okay.
So when it's time for us to leave and go back home to the States, I'm always really sad that I have to leave. And then the second I get home, I'm thrilled to be there. And then the same thing happens the other way around too. I get here, I'm always a little concerned, like, am I going to love it as much as I did last time? We unlock the keys to the door, we walk in our apartment, we look out at the Mediterranean, we say, yeah, we love it here. Okay. It's perfect.
Well, that's a great way to be. So what's the most frustrating thing about living in Spain?
The sort of lax attitude towards organization.
Yeah.
You know, we'd like to go to XYZ restaurant. Gee, do you think they're open today? Well, let's check Google. Yeah, they're open today. We go there. No, they're not open. You might even be able to make a reservation. You get there. My husband made a reservation to get his hair cut on that company's website. He got there. They were closed up tight. So it's those things that are challenging. You know, in the scheme of things,
it's no big deal.
Whatever.
But we do notice it. What advice would you give to someone thinking of moving to Spain?
First of all, don't buy right away.
Yeah.
You know, come more than once, rent in different areas. I mean, if you love Estepona, rent in different parts of Estepona. If you love the area, you know, try different cities. Also, and I can't stress this enough, find a good lawyer and spend a little money, pay that good lawyer. You will save so many years off your life.
Yeah. That's good advice. Talking about money, do you think Spain's more expensive than America or cheaper?
Much cheaper in pretty much every respect. Every time I go to the supermarket, I am flabbergasted at how much less money I spent. And if I'm smart enough to go to a fruteria, to a produce market, it's incredible how little money I spend.
Yeah.
Go to the restaurants here, yes, prices have gone up since we moved here, but you're not paying a state tax, a state sales tax. You're not paying a 20% tip, 25% tip. Things are much cheaper here. Health insurance blows my mind.
How cheap it is, yeah.
You know, in order to get our residency, we had to buy 100% coverage, no deductible health insurance for the two of us. We spend on that a year what we would spend in the States for a couple of months, and there would be a deductible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So much cheaper here.
I'm amazed by the health insurance, and it's a great service as well, isn't it?
Excellent service.
Okay, a couple more. How important is learning Spanish?
I think it's really important. I am so disappointed when I go out with English speakers to a restaurant or wherever, and they don't even try. Their expectation is that the person who greets them and waits on them is going to speak English.
Yeah.
I've been studying Spanish. I do Duolingo, and then I do some other classes here and there for 6 years now, and my Spanish has gotten better. It's not fluent. I can't sit with a bunch of Spanish people and just have drinks and conversation. I can't do that. But I can go to a restaurant, I can go to a shop, I can go to a bank, I can make myself understood, and I can't stress enough how important it is. I just think it's a matter of respect.
Yeah. All right, well, thanks for your time.
You're welcome. Nice talking to you.
Cheers. Bye.